Glad to see you. Hi, Chris. Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Rakes. Uh-oh, Rakes is going to be right back. Okay, so let's see where I'm going to start here. Stay out of the way. Hold on a minute. Okay. Okay, so what's everybody up to? A lot of stuff going on this week. Talk about Sebastian and those pictures. What does everybody think? Oh, that one was obviously fake. They photoshopped Sebastian's face on another boy's body. But what about the other one? The one of him at the park or whatever. It looks photoshopped to me because his feet are funny, but if you look at the right side of his glasses, like the bow is all wavy. In some places it's almost non-existent, in other places it's fat. Plus, one of the eyepieces is not connected. It's got a space in it. Just kind of the typical things you find in photoshopped pictures. And I think we know that from like the Kardashians. They Photoshop everything and always have wacky walls and whatever they're next to. Okay, so let's talk about Noah Presgrove. This is a very odd case. So many just different possibilities, so many different stories, so many different suspects. So Noah's a 19-year-old who had just graduated from high school. He's from Comanche, or is it Comanche? Probably Comanche, Oklahoma. He was going to join the military with a friend of his, and he was waiting till he graduated high school this year. So this whole group of friends had been together 4 or 5 years hanging out, and they are not talking about what happened. Jack is the name of his best friend, and we'll go over what his story was. I gotta find my, sorry. Can you hear my rattling papers? Whenever I keep missing one. Okay. So he went to a party. It was Labor Day weekend. There was a 4-day party, kind of celebrating the holiday and the end of summer. And a friend of his, a girl, it was at her house. It was her birthday party. She was turning 22. Oh, great. So her name is Avery Combs, which I guess I can say because other people have. Noah went to the party Friday. Yeah, 4-day party, Annabelle. He didn't go all 4 days, though. He went Friday and Saturday. His body was found early Sunday morning by the side of the road. So I guess I should get to that. Yeah, he went to the party, and then he was found dead by the side of the road in mysterious circumstances early Sunday morning. So there was drinking at the party, of course, fighting. If you looked at my video I posted, they're slapping each other. There's a gun there. Girls wrote on Noah's body and his butt. They wrote Noah's hot on his butt and drew a penis on his back. Lovely. But when he was found, there was no marks on the body. They were all washed off. So what happened here was Friday night there was a football game. Noah was at that, and his aunt invited him to go with them to Rocklahoma. I guess is some big celebration. But Noah wanted to bring a friend who was like 15, and his aunt didn't want to be responsible for a young kid watching him there because a lot was going on. So at the football game, Noah said he wasn't going to the party. Then he texted his aunt Saturday and asked how things were going. And she said she wished he was there. And he said, yeah, he kind of wished he did too. So then he went to the party Saturday and Sunday. Sorry. I know I'm always so unorganized. Okay, so there's some different stories about how he got to the party. His car had an oil leak and was in bad shape. So he did drive his car to the party on Sunday, but on Saturday, I'm sorry, but he got a ride from a friend on Sunday night. So allegedly, one of the stories was that this friend drove him to Sonic, and then he walked to a truck stop, and then a girl picked him up and took him to the party. But the friend that picked him up said no, he drove him all the way to the house. So there you go. He had not a steady girlfriend, but a girl. His closest to a girlfriend was 15, so she wasn't at the party. She was too young. So then there's a Snapchat photo at 3:41 Sunday morning, and this girl said Noah's missing and was smiling and put emojis on it, which is kind of odd. So he's missing at 3:41. Apparently they already know he's missing. And these things were deleted later. Snapchat was wiped. So this girl, she said when she was questioned later, she said she didn't know the situation would turn out like it did, was why she was kind of laughing. And then she said that she didn't go to sleep when she was asked, but she doesn't know anything about anything. Well, she knew he was missing, so she knows something. I gotta slap my cat just a minute. Okay, so he had some confrontations at the party, which happens when you're drinking, I guess. He was talking to Jack, who's his best friend. He was talking to Jack's girlfriend in a corner of the room. And Jack took exception to that. I guess no blows were thrown at this one, but just some trash talk. And then they allegedly hugged each other and it was all over. Okay, then he has the second confrontation. And a friend thought that Noah had hid his phone. And apparently Noah was known for his pranks. So the friend fish hooked him. I had to look that up because I didn't know what that was. Does everybody else know? Or do I need to explain? So while he was fish hooking him, Noah bit his finger. Then they found the phone. It was under someone who was sleeping. And then the next one, the third confrontation, there's two stories about that the host wanted Noah, and he called her a fat, nasty bitch. The other story is that he wanted to go sleep in the bed, and the host told him to sleep on the floor, and he got pissed and walked off. So the host was 22. It was her 22nd birthday. No charges have been filed on anybody for contributing to the delinquency of a minor or anything. So then there's different stories about they gave him a shower because when he was found, all the writing was gone, washed off, girls' names and everything. So there's a story that 2 girls gave him a shower, and then one of his friends gave him a shower, and then 2 friends gave him a shower. I don't see any comments. Is anybody listening? So then Noah got the keys to his friend Jake's UTV because his friend and his girlfriend were sleeping. So he took it out with another friend and allegedly flipped it over on the passenger side. Nobody was hurt. So allegedly he was covered with mud. Hi, Reep. Glad to see ya. Allegedly he was covered with mud, although his aunt said there was no mud. Chris, you're just missing your girl. It hadn't rained and there was no mud. So that's kind of an odd part of the story. So allegedly that's why they gave him a shower. Because his clothes were dirty, he was dirty. And they never found his clothes. The cops supposedly gave him to his friend's dad, and they passed his clothes out as keepsakes to his friends. Oh, the one you're trying to get, Chris. The cops never, hi, Bob. The cops never entered the property at the beginning, which I think is odd. He was wearing his American flag shirt. I think I posted a picture of him and wearing that. That was also passed out to his friends. They never found his wallet. He had a credit card, which has not been used, I believe. And he had just gotten paid and did not deposit his paycheck, so they think he cashed it and he had cash. And that was, of course, not found either. He had just bought a new iPhone the day before. They did recover that. And his old phone was at his house. What? Body slam. So then after this, the friends, when the law enforcement got there, I'm assuming the next day, his friends were loading the UTV up on a trailer to take it away. And law enforcement stopped them. They took the UTV, but then they later returned it. There was no damage on it. How old was he? 19, Reeve. So you'd think if they flipped that, because it's plastic and everything, that there would be some damage to it. Scratches, pieces broken off, something. Then there was a golf club that was rumored to have maybe come into play that was in the back of his friend's truck. Law enforcement finally did go to the house, and the host and her sister, I believe, were cleaning up the place. Just supposedly the stuff left from the party. But people said there was a strong smell of bleach. You really can't count on anything here, because everything's a different story. Everybody tells a different story. You know, the fact that they wiped everything off Snapchat and then the cops had to recover that, I think that's kind of suspicious. And how does 40 people at the party and nobody knows anything? I just think that's weird. So the let's see, cops wanted just a minute. Oh, the cops didn't give the family. I mean, this has been 9 months anyway. The cops didn't ever give the family any information about the cause of death or anything. Yeah, Snapchat. Oh, that's right. You'd think it would reap, wouldn't you? But people got it. I don't know anything about it, actually. So when he was found, the marks were gone. Okay, there's gravel. There was road rash on his hip and gravel rash on his shoulder. He was found, they said they had an 8-mile or an eighth of a mile long driveway. And then he was found a mile down the road. And I posted the map of where the car was and everything. So some of the stories about what might have, there were no marks on the body, is what they said, like no trauma below the waist. There was gravel and the road rash, which they finally released the medical report yesterday, I think, and it said that he died of blunt force trauma from a pedestrian crash. Something hit by a car, but yet they've already eliminated a car crash. The cops did, from an unknown vehicle. That's what they said. Blunt force trauma from an unknown vehicle. The road rash happened. The gravel rash was first. Then the road rash happened when someone placed him on the highway. And there's just one little spot of blood actually in the road. So for his head being bashed in and his nose being broken and everything. Yeah, Eve, absolutely. Oh, did anybody want to come on panel? I'll give you the link. So the Oklahoma law enforcement today released a statement saying that it's not being investigated as a murder. So looks like they're thinking it was an accident somehow. A semi driver found the body and called 911. I think that was 5 something. And then a trooper responded and found the body at 6:18. So that's Labor Day. Let's see. So here's one of the stories. The kids say after the ATV accident in the shower and him wanting to sleep in the bed, they saw him walking down the driveway. And that's the last anybody saw of him. Another possibility was that he was car surfing. Now I almost think that might be possible. Although nobody's going to admit that, are they? So when his body was found, it was 30 miles from home. There was no debris from a car or vehicle. The party was at a house in Terrell, Oklahoma. And yeah, his body was found a mile from the driveway. There was road rash on his hip, gravel on his shoulder, bruises all over his body. His back of his head was bashed in. He had several concussions, broken ribs, broken nose and cheek, and his teeth were knocked out and were laying there on the side of the road. His fingertips were shredded, hair scraped off the top of his head. He had an awful lot of injuries. So all the injuries were on the left side of his body. So here's an interview with his best friend, Jack Newton. He's the one that placed crosses on the road to mark the site where his body was found. He passed a polygraph, he said. He thinks it looked like a semi hit Noah, although that's been ruled out. He said he was not beaten. Well, it sounded pretty beaten to me. He said Jack had lived at their house for a while. Now, Jack's dad is remarried, and his mom, I guess, is just kind of a nomad. So that's kind of sad. Noah lived with his grandmother and great grandmother. So Jack was going fishing with his dad the next morning. His dad went and picked him up at the party house. And then, although Jack had his car there, so nobody understands why Jack didn't drive to his dad's, but then they saw the body. And I think the police were there at that time. So I don't know what happened to Jack's car. And then his brother, Noah's brother, Dalen Presgrove, heard he was in an accident and then went to the scene. Jack and when he got there, I think he said it took 30 minutes. He and his dad went to the accident scene, and Jack and Kayla were already there. He's in law enforcement. He said Noah was covered by a tarp. Blood was leaking through the tarp. Pants were folded up on the side of the road. This is what he's saying. So he was found naked and had shoes on, but only one of the shoes was his. The other shoe was Jack's. Figure that out. Yeah, his teeth were strewn across the road. But this Dalen is the only one that said the pants were folded up on the side of the road. He was in a fetal position, and law enforcement said that they have a couple of people in mind for suspects, but nobody wants to talk. And if they do talk, they just tell conflicting stories or that they don't know anything. I just have to think that they're covering up something. Don't you think? They said his face was really swollen at the funeral home. His relatives couldn't stand to look at it. This was pretty bad. So, what do you think about with his fingertips shredded? I asked in the Facebook group if maybe the fingertips were shredded at the same time. That one picture is bloody knuckles. So, did he hit something? Did he hit a board? Was that from slapping someone? I don't know. Maybe his fingertips got shredded there. It's odd that his head could be totally bashed in and a broken nose and everything. And there's no blood. There's just one spot, not even as big as your hand, of blood on the road. I mean, a head wound would have bled like crazy. So one of the theories was that he was car surfing or was in the bed of a truck and fell off or was pushed. caught himself on the truck, tried to hang on, which was the damage to his fingers, hit face first, which would knock out his teeth and break his nose and cheek, and then hit on the shoulder on his left side, and then rolled to the side of the road. That's a possibility. I think that kind of explains everything. They were probably driving drunk. A lot of underage drinking there. I think a lot of these where people disappear from a party is the kids, get scared if there's a drug use or something there, and then they cover it up, get rid of the body, although they obviously didn't get rid of it here. Yeah, Eve. It is very odd. They're all conflicting stories. I think that's all I have. So his aunt and grandmother have been giving a lot of interviews, and News Nation's been covering it. Actually, Ashley Daniels said that she has the toxicology report, and tonight she was going to reveal something shocking, which was not in his system. What do you think that would be? Alcohol? He was clearly drinking. I don't know. I got to go over there and check out what she said. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's everything I got. What do you guys think? Probably not murder. Car accident ruled out. Suspicious. Nobody's going to comment. I think, I don't. Oh, one of the stories was that he was talking in the shower, but then other people said he was non-responsive and they were holding him up. So was he passed out at that point? Oh, hi, squirrely girl. I don't know if Chris is still here. He was waiting for you. Oh, you got little nuts. So a 6'4" person unconscious or passed out, how are you going to hold them up in the shower, especially when everybody'd been drinking? I don't know if I believe that, but obviously all the writing was wiped off of him. That's kind of suspicious. There was guns there. Oh yeah, they said that beside trying to load up the ATV, that they were taking guns out of the house. And there were definitely some guns there because the kids are holding them. You know, alcohol, guns, and underage kids, I don't think that's a very good mix either. But then that's just me. So there is a memorial set up. I know, it's always nice to see Bob. Just a lot of suspicious things. They can't even get their story straight on how he got to the party. I mean, it's just amazing. And why would somebody drop him off at Sonic and have him walk to a truck stop and somebody else pick him up? How did they coordinate that? I don't know. Anybody got any ideas of what they think happened to him? Everybody was either sleeping or not sleeping. Drunk or not drunk. I don't know. It is very strange, even, all this time, 9 months, nobody's talking, they're not getting anywhere. And why didn't law enforcement let his family see the autopsy report until yesterday? I think it's just picking up steam on social media, and the family was telling that they hadn't gotten that yet. I saw somebody give them told them what to do, that they were entitled to any records the medical examiner had, and they told them how to file a request for that. However, all of a sudden, here it is. Oh, Annabelle, it's okay. You can catch up. So I don't know what to think. I'm stymied. Gee, the car surfing thing makes sense, but yet, how'd that back of his head get bashed in? Why would they bash his head in? Definitely hiding something. Yep, they're all remaining quiet. Imagine that. Oh, Annabelle, that's a very good point. But this is kind of like Rose Bly, don't you think? A party? A person disappearing? Nobody talks? 9 months later, or in Rose's case, 13 years later. Although there's been a few confidential informants reports on Rose, I doubt they have anybody saying what happened here. Because they haven't told the family if they have. Yes, Annabelle, but there was someone that took a polygraph, and you know how before you take a polygraph, people are demanding polygraphs, and then after you take them, oh, well, polygraphs don't mean anything. Anybody can pass a polygraph. So, I don't know. Hey, guys, that's all I got. Unless you have something. What else happened? Oh, we got the Jared Lysick thing I posted. Marcia Chittister, Marcella, with that Swan Boat Club crash. What do you think about that lawsuit? I don't know if you can make a building so that a vehicle can't crash through it. She was flying too. The lawyers are saying faulty construction. I think it's their ambulance chasers, to be honest. I mean, they're already suing the boat club and her. I mean, cars go into buildings quite frequently around here, into stores and stuff, so people get hurt. Clothing gets strewn around. I don't know how you could, I don't know. They're saying that it looks like, the lawyers said that the Swan Boat Club looked like Boy Scouts built it for a merit badge project. Okay. It's a little lawyer rhetoric there, I think. What else do we got? Jared Lysick suing. He's just hounding Josh Cantu. Josh was his videographer, and he said he made some side videos of his own too. Well, now Jared wants exclusive rights to everything Josh did, so he's suing him and striking him on YouTube. The guy's just an ass, a narcissistic ass, in my opinion. And is he going to get punished? I mean, even if he's found guilty, he's going to be sentenced as a juvenile. I don't know if they even put juveniles on the sex offender registry, do they? I don't know, but I'll be sure and publicize if he does get found guilty. I think some other people will too. Although that Ventures with Purpose, he's still going on there and people are loving him. I've seen people suggest him for different cases. Sebastian is one. Riley Strain's another. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. But his subs have increased greatly since his arrest. I think people just want to be involved in something salacious. Okay, so that's all I got. Sorry it wasn't longer. I had to ask his aunt and if they wanted to come on and talk about it, but she did, but then she ghosted me. So I guess I don't have a big enough audience, unfortunately. Hopefully someday I do. Excuse me. I always have trouble breathing. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks to my mods. And we'll see y'all on Monday, right? Have a good weekend, everybody. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.